out of imagination just a few years ago, and now is achieved on some of these larger systems. If you scan down the list, it seems to be IBM dominated, but there are very interesting systems like the K computer from Fujitsu in Japan that is a very interesting entry, as well as for the first time we see China with National University of Defense Technologies Tianhe-2 system on the list. I've asked, after the presentation, I've asked Professor Yutong Liu from NUDT to say a few words. And this is remarkable if you think about the time from installation of the system to submitting the benchmark results was fairly compressed. And so you have to wait for what will happen in the next list to see how this machine changes in performance.
So personally, I'm very hopeful that people will be inspired by IBM dominating the top 11 entries to go submit some more.
Okay.
Maybe I even should submit that.
No. And the other thing, as a takeaway message that you'll see here is right now on top 500, Tianhe-2 is the top system, and here it's ranked number 6, and Sequoia is ranked a few down in the top 500. So you see an inversion. And also on our list, while I don't have the entire list up here, what you'll see are a lot of places where there are systems on the Graph500 list that do not appear on top 500, or when they do, their orders are in quite different orders. So what's favored in Graph500 systems is more of the memory performance and memory bandwidth, and not as much the number of accelerators or the floating point performance. So here we have a scatter plot of normalized graph data structure size. So this is size of the problem solved, essentially going from left to right. These are larger. Then this is performance also on a log plot. And then the systems are pegged 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. So you can see the rough correlation between the larger the problem you can solve, typically the higher rate of performance you achieve. So highlights of the list is grown. We want to encourage submissions, and there are both reference implementations and also custom implementations on the list. The top systems for this time have leveled off a bit. It's the first time we've seen a Chinese system on the top 10, although in the past we've had Chinese systems. I think this is remarkable to see Tianhe-2, the Milky Way 2 system up here. The 3 vendors that I mentioned, IBM, Convey, and Cray, account for approximately half the list. The other half of the list has a variety of vendors. And then, as I mentioned, Graph500 and top 500 rankings are not strongly correlated. For instance, Tianhe-2 is ranked number 6 on Graph500, and then Sequoia, which is the IBM Blue Gene in the number 1 position, is ranked number 3 in top 500. So while there's some loose correlation, the differences in these systems also may influence the architecture in different ways for these big data problems. So the next Graph500 list will be released in Denver, Colorado in November at Supercomputing 13. We hope to see you there. And at this time, I want to turn over the mic to Kyung Bru from IBM to say a couple words about the Blue Gene system.